We know that there's a lot of uncertainty in the stock market.
It's that uncertainty.
It is uncertainty.
And I think just the uncertainty.
And if you are a long-term investor, I mean someone who doesn't choose to trade on a day-to-day, someone who wants to buy and hold long-term, there's the understanding that we should hold and not sell. But there are times when that will be challenged. If you're new here, thanks for joining. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, please. It goes a long way. Now, one of the things that I would say is that when you buy and hold the stock of a company, no matter where the company is, no matter the operation the company is into, your belief is that the value of the company will continue to go up. They'll continue to make money. They'll continue to do great things. And that would help the growth of the company, and the stock price will go up, which is great. But when you find yourself in a situation as an investor in which you are unsure of where the market is headed, for the past couple of weeks now, we've been seeing this downtrend. There's fear of recession, there's fear of this trade war, and this will likely continue for some time. So the question is, what should we be doing? Should we be buying, or should we be selling, be exiting the market? Now, I've shared some videos in the past couple of weeks, and I've shared that, if you are a long-term holder of these companies and stocks and index funds and mutual funds, then there's no reason to panic. But there are times where you may need to sell, and I'm going to share with you. No need to panic. Let me address that first. No need to panic, because the stock market is driven by a lot of emotions, and people would overreact to things that they see in the market and how the market behaves based on headlines, based on the actions of the political administration that we have right now. All those things will drive the stock market, whether it's the cryptos and other alternative investments. You may want to do an analysis of a portfolio and understand that, okay, what do I need to hold, or what do I need to sell? Especially in a situation where we don't know how soon this will turn around. We might get ourselves into a recession with where things are going. And if we get ourselves in that recession, I would rather be in some safe places in terms of where I put my money. So let me share some things with you. The first thing that I would say is that your long-term investments, like your retirement accounts that you know that you don't need for the next maybe 10, 15, 20 years, those do nothing. In fact, if you want to bump up your contributions into those type of accounts, I think that would be a very smart move to do, because you will be able to be accumulating more of those shares and funds at lower prices. Now, if you are in a position where you are trying to maybe save up money for something in the near future, I'm talking about maybe 2 years, a year, I may worry about putting your money in the stock market. Now, depending on your risk tolerance and your appetite for risk and reward, sure, you may take risks, right? But if it's something that is really important to you and you do not want to gamble, and I say gamble because, with your money, that I would suggest that you put your money in high yield savings account. Now, understand that high yield savings account right now is also a place where there's fire underneath it. Why? Because of inflation. And guess what? Inflation is likely to rise in the near future as well because of these high tariffs. I mean, it's already rising. It's up right now, right? But in the near future, we may see an uptick in inflation again, which is not good for your money in a savings account, especially if they're not paying, good returns on it or interest on it. This is not financial advice, just so you know, but I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And I'm going to show it to you on a practical form right now. The approach of being in certain stocks, and especially in a brokerage account. So remember, I've tackled the long term, I've tackled the short or near term goals where your money, where you may want to put your money. Okay. Now, when it comes to brokerage accounts, in which your goal is, you don't necessarily have a goal for it, but your goal, you build in a portfolio, right? And it's a brokerage account, which means you do not have any tax advantages other than the fact that you maybe invest in certain types of ETFs over certain stocks, or you hold long term over short term. Okay, so those are areas in which you may have to play these tax benefits, all right, to your advantage. And I am looking into the stocks that I hold, not ETFs, the stocks that I hold in a brokerage account. And I'm asking myself, this has been falling for the past couple of weeks now. These stocks are great companies. I don't have any worries about their performance. I don't see them going out of business. But do I want to lock in my gains, or do I want these gains to go out in flames because of this current environment we find ourselves? And I'm going to share with you maybe 4 or 5 reasons why you may want to consider doing something like this. So the first thing is you want to lock in gains, all right? The second thing is you want to avoid further losses. So sometimes some of the stocks, they've risen, especially towards December, January, these stocks rose to new highs, and in the past couple of weeks to months now, they've given back some of those gains. So to avoid further losses, we may want to lock in those gains. We want to preserve the capital, okay? Because if I can sell some of these shares that I'm going to show you right now, then I'm able to use that money, keep it, and use it to buy other companies that I found more value in, or I use it to buy ETFs when they are even further down, because with the way things are likely going to get lower, or will continue to get lower until it change, for some time anyway. The next thing is reducing portfolio risk. Now, if you have held good companies, especially the tech, they've been giving up all their gains lately. Talking about Nvidia in particular, AMD, they've given up a lot of gains. Now, Magnificent 7 is AMD is not part of Mag 7, but you get what I mean. Nvidia, Amazon, Google, right? Those guys have given up a lot of gains. And if you are in the profit, well, you may, and you've held for a long time, you may consider selling those things to lock in some of the profit that you have. Okay. And of course, reallocation is another reason. And what does reallocation mean? That means that you want to go out maybe of the tech heavy brokerage account that you have, and you want to move into maybe consumer discretionary. And last but not least will be dividend paying stocks. This type of stocks will generally do well in a recession because people would want to buy them for a safe haven, which means they put their money into it. Yes, they may not perform in terms of growth, but they generally will pay you a consistent type of income, all right, if that makes sense. And that is something that, some of the reasons why you may want to sell. So I'm going to share with you what I am doing right now. And this is going to be with the Bank of America stocks that I own. Why am I selling Bank of America right now? The reason is because Bank of America, great company. I have nothing against them. They've gone up really well. I don't have a lot of their shares, but I've acquired the shares over time. I currently have about 20.55923, but my gains have been up to 48%. That is high. Mind you, this was around 50 something percent as at maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. The current price right now is about $40.39. And I started buying this, I would say maybe when it was like around 20s, somewhere here, I believe. I'm going to sell some of it. I'm not selling everything, but I just want to lock in some of the gains. Yeah, this may eventually go back to 42. I may lose out, right? But I'm okay with that. I'll rather take some of the money off the table right now and use that money on other things like ETFs and mutual funds. So, and also I think this is a good just example of how this can be done. Now, since we are talking about long-term investments, with Robinhood, we have the ability to sell in tax lots. This is a new feature that was added, and I think this is a great one for those who want to specifically sell long-term investments. So we'll go to that, and then I don't want to do market order, right? I'm going to change it to limit order. I prefer limit order because I want to specify the price at which I want to exit. Right now, the bid is 40.38, the ask is 40.39. Generally speaking, when you put in a market, right, it will automatically choose the market price to exit. And if I change it to limit, you can see it's slightly lower, even though the market is 40.46. So I'm going to go with that market price. It won't execute right away, just so you know. So I'm going to do 40.50. All right. It won't execute right away because it's not within this bid and ask prices right now. But I'm okay waiting for the whole day. Remember, I'm not in a hurry to exit this. I just want to set it and let it do its thing. Now, the next point is the tax loss. This is where it gets interesting. So as you can see, I've been consistently investing, even though I'm not buying a whole lot of shares. I don't remember, maybe I would do like $10 in it, but I've just done that over time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my long-term hold, and you can see the furthest one that I have was 2019. And 2019, at the time, this was December 2019, I bought one share for $35, and it dropped all the way to around $23, I think, at the lowest. So my goal is to sell some of all of this, okay? Not all of the shares, but I'm just going to sell maybe 10. So the top of this shows the cost per share. The next one shows the gain or loss. All the numbers that you see in gains and green are the gains that I've made on those particular shares, okay, of this Bank of America. My goal is that I want to sell around 10 of it, okay, and I'm picking the ones that I've held for more than a year. As you can see, all of these are things that I bought in 2020. So I'm just picking all of this, and now remember, I have 14, so I think I'm going a little more than what I want. I want to do 10. So if I want to do 10, I want to pick the highest paying ones. Yeah, I'm going to pay taxes. Remember, there'll be taxes I'll be paid on all of this. So I'm going to just be selective, and I'm okay paying the taxes. I'm all right with that, but it's going to be taxed at a long-term tax basis, not on a short term, which I think is around 15% or so. So I'm okay with that. So with that, I have 12 right now, and I think 12 might be okay, which means my estimated gains is around $195, and the estimated pay that I would get once this execute is $486, and I'll make a gain of $195 on those 12 shares, which I think 12 shares is okay. I have 20. My goal is really to okay, let me take this one out. So I have 11 now. I'm trying to pick the ones with double-digit gains. Let me see, double-digit gains. I'm not seeing much of double-digit gains. I want to take out one more to make it 10. Now, the reason again why I'm selling is it's not because I'm worried about Bank of America going out of business. It's not because but it's just like the reasons I already listed, to preserve the portfolio itself. So right now I have 10 shares estimated credit that I will get paid once it executes, which I'll pay taxes of around 107. I'll pay about 15% around there taxes on the $176 gain, then do that, and the order is in, sold. That's easy. So I'm gonna be paying Uncle Sam a few shares. Just wanted to share that with you, and share my rationale as to why I decided to sell, and to show you a good reason and how to do it, especially with Robinhood. If you don't have a Robinhood account, use the link below. I'm sure you would find it useful. It's a very good one to use. I think it's very friendly and user friendly, and I think easy to use for new investors. Anyway, I hope you found value in this one. If you have, don't forget to drop a like on the video. I'll see you in a future one.